Is job stacking actually real, or is it just internet BS? Every time I see someone posting about job stacking on the internet, it honestly just sounds totally fake. This idea that you work multiple remote jobs, you have the same hours, and you're telling me that no one notices or cares, right? So let's answer this question. Is job stacking actually real, or is it just internet BS? And more importantly, when does this actually work, and when does it completely backfire? Why people think job stacking is BS. One, TikTok and Instagram have turned this into a flex trend. Everyone's posting about all the jobs they have. There are these extreme cases like the dude Soham, who went viral for working like 10 different remote jobs, doing a horrible job, getting caught, getting fired. And obviously that leads to a ton of susness of just being like, this kind of seems BS. This is sketchy. I'm not an unethical person. I don't want to partake in something that's that shady. And there's also a lot of confusion between, is this just like freelancing on the side? Is it working multiple remote jobs that are full-time? And most examples that you see online are definitely unethical. They're definitely exaggerated for clicks, and they're definitely not sustainable because people aren't thinking about the ethics. So what actually is ethical job stacking, if there even is such a thing? It's certainly not working 80-hour weeks, working yourself to the bone and being completely burnt out. It's certainly not ghosting your employer. So like, who the heck is this guy? Does he even work here anymore? It's not working a few jobs so poorly that you get fired from them. But what it can be, if done properly, is output-based work, meaning you're giving a positive ROI for your company. You're doing asynchronous work. You have clear expectations that you're delivering week over week over week. You have clear KPIs and you're delivering on them, and no one's even questioning, is this person working multiple roles? Because you're actually so efficient with your work and your time that you're providing the ROI and you're doing it well. That's the way you can make job stacking ethical. So is this actually real, or is it just a concept people are trying to sell you in a fake way? Now, there are two main trends that I think speak to this. One is that it's already very normal for companies to pay someone without it needing to be 40 hours a week because they're paying for an outcome, not hours of input. Examples are contractors, fractional employees, and consultants that are hired to solve a problem in a business, often for way more than they actually pay a typical employee. And two is that with AI, anyone can say, wow, yeah, I can get my work done in probably a third of the time it used to take me when I had to write that email freehand. So even if your job is crazy, I bet if you ask 10 of your friends, more than half of them would say they can get their 40-hour-a-week job done in 10, 20, maximum 30 hours per week. So if we look at the intersection of those two realities, I think anyone can admit, yeah, there are probably scenarios where I could work 2 to 3 jobs if I was able to get the work done because it's pretty autonomous and it's not super high visibility. And if I'm truly just focused on high quality work, it could work. That said, it's not going to be perfect for everyone. There will absolutely be scenarios where 2 jobs have high visibility. You have a crazy boss. The company is a small startup and it's just more challenging. So it's not going to work for every combination of jobs. That said, it can certainly work for many combinations of jobs as well. When does job stacking fail, and why many people should not partake in job stacking? It fails when you have 2 reactive roles, meaning you're always having to put out fires and you're basically on call by your boss all the time. It doesn't work when you're working for small startups and you're super important, super critical, wearing all the hats. And it doesn't work in visibility heavy roles in director and above, when again, you're just on call and you're expected to be available whenever the leaders need you, or you lead tons of meetings and have to constantly speak in front of the whole organization. It doesn't work for people who are chasing money instead of actually providing value to the company, because eventually you just get caught and people realize you're not actually putting in the effort. So there are many reasons why this will not work. Job stacking is only going to work for people who meet all the following criteria. 1, you are output based. You can build systems to deliver the results that you need without having to be so time intensive for every little deliverable. There's a low amount of emergency work, meaning again, you can set a deliverable with your manager, with your team, and get that work done without having to be reactive on call, solving problems every single day, because that's just going to add more stress. And again, this is something you can coach into your leadership team. It's not something that's baked into every role immediately off the bat, but with the right positioning and the right conversations had with your leadership, you can set those boundaries and have a healthier working environment. It works really well for large and bureaucratic organizations where it's already slow, right? As long as you're not the slowest person on the team and you're not the bottleneck, you can have more time to get your work done. If there's many people involved in a project, you just got to get your piece done on time. And that's a great way to leverage the inefficiencies that might already exist in an organization. And lastly is performance that's measured quarterly or monthly based on KPIs and not hourly. You don't want to be tied to dials per hour, et cetera, or something like that. You want to reposition your KPIs so that it's, hey, as long as I get this work done, I'm paid, you're paid, we all win. Those are the type of roles that thrive with job stacking. But before you even think about job stacking, what most people don't realize is that 95% of the effort isn't in these nuanced things of how to actually stack efficiently. It's getting the remote job itself. The job market is so cutthroat. 500 people apply to every job on the internet. So on average, your statistical likelihood of getting an interview is less than 1% per job posting. Now, with a good resume and a really good LinkedIn, meaning you've dialed it in, it's ATS optimized, you're scoring in the top 5% of all candidates, then you might get a 1% response rate. And even then, you need at least 1,000 or 2,000 applications going out per month on your behalf to get 10 to 20 interviews per month and get that next remote job. If all this stuff interests you and you do want to pursue job stacking, I'm sure you can figure it out. I did for myself. I stacked up to 3 remote jobs in 2023, was making about $400K, and since have helped 500 plus people build these exact systems to land that additional remote job. So if you want some support with all this stuff, with your process, picking the right job title, doing your resume and LinkedIn so you actually land on the first few pages and getting out thousands of applications per month, happy to support you. We offer a 90-day guaranteed placement program. For those who qualify, you can click the link down in the description and we can chat with you to see if you're a fit. And if you want to really understand the process that we've used to apply to over 6 million jobs for our clients over the last year and a half, make sure to watch the next video because I'm going to be breaking down that full system for you there. See you in the next video.